you're doing, Ralphie, Ralphie Customs. Now, the keen eyed amongst you might notice that I'm not in my usual video environment. This is completely divergence from the norm. I've been talking briefly about mental and physical health, and I'm on a fucking journey like you wouldn't believe. So I thought I'd share how I got where I'm at, a bit of history and all that, and hopefully someone will benefit from it, or you'll give me questions I can answer, because I've fucking been on a deep dive, trust me. How to sort yourself out when your head's not right, and how to fucking get your body working properly when you fucked it up, basically. So let's have a quick thing. We're going to talk about mostly mental, but also physical health. Yeah, and we're going to talk about being on medication long term and getting off it. A lot of us suffer with mental health. You know, it's almost fucking encouraged to talk. Well, it is encouraged to talk about nowadays, and it's rife. So is taking medication, but I've been on it nearly 40 years, off and on. So 40 years off and on, but not continuously. And I'm almost off it. A week from filming, I'll be off it completely, and I don't intend going back on the fucker, because if it ain't fixed me after 40 years, it sure as shit ain't going to fix me in the next fucking 30 years. Or 40 years, however long I'm going to live, hopefully 40, but we'll see. And I've mentioned it and people seem quite interested, so all this first video, I'm hoping it develops into a series. The first video is me explaining what's going on and where I'm at, and asking you if you want to share your experiences or give me any questions that I can answer, because like I said, I've done a fucking proper deep dive on educating myself about all this kind of shit. So I'm open to share and I'm open to help. That's it. If it don't take off, I won't fucking do it anymore. Like I said, I'm well out of my comfort zone, to be fair. Anyway, right, so I've had to make a fucking list. Our list is had to do me questions so I can answer the questions so this makes sense. So I don't just ramble on for fucking 20 minutes, which is what usually happens, if you know me well. Right. Let's have a look. So I first went on medication for depression 39 years ago when I was 17. I was diagnosed with stress and treated with what we call beta blockers then, which is probably the equivalent of something like propranolol, if you know that anti-anxiety drug, basically. Lowers your blood pressure. People have it for that. People have it for migraines, but it bends your head a bit like, that's why they give it you. I won't go into too much detail, but I had a shitty fucking upbringing, although I wouldn't change it, to be fair. And certain things happened and it left me fucking a bit emotionally vulnerable. So off I went to the doctors and the cycle began. You know, felt alright for a bit, then it didn't work, so they upped the dose, then that don't work, so they changed it for another one. And fucking just wash, rinse and repeat for 40 fucking years. So I've been recently diagnosed this year, 3 years, I think, 3 years ago. I'm looking to Liz, you can't see, for confirmation, with ADHD. And that definitely played a part, being undiagnosed. When I was at school, ADHD was just starting to be recognised as a condition. They were just fresh out of teacher school. The teachers of the day realised they'd been taught that some of the kids weren't quite wired up the same line. And I was one of them, but it wasn't generally treated, recognised or done fuck all with. It was just disruptive little shit. Not changed much. I do have an history of drug use, so I was a drug addict for decades. I'm 10 years clean and dry, although alcohol has had a grip of me up until a few months ago, well this year. So nearly a year now I'm free of my alcoholism. And I'm not aware that I used that to self-medicate. I just did it because I fucking enjoyed it. And then ended up addicted, and then ended up destroying lives and marriages and all the rest of it. So that's not helped me state of mind. The turning point that made me decide I need to sort my shit out is in January this year I was diagnosed with fatty liver and cirrhosis of the liver. Not cirrhosis, scarring, which is early onset liver disease, which is going to lead to diabetes, liver cancer, and you're going to die a blind fucking cripple if you look alike. So it was a massive wake-up call. Part of looking into being clean, keeping dry, keeping clean of drugs, was looking at the medication, because I'm on a fucking good cocktail, and I'm sure a lot of you are too, and it ain't good for you. It ain't good for your fucking liver taking that shit every day. So I started to look at ways that I could get off it. And part of that's diet, which I'm quite happy to talk about. I'm on a keto diet and intermittent fasting, which really helps your liver, but it also helps your state of mind. Yeah. I was sick of feeling depression, anxiety, brain fog, restlessness, stress, pain, all of these side effects from the medication. Part of the reason I was taking the medication was to stop feeling like that, and I was feeling like it when I was on it. So I'm like, I can feel like this clean. I don't need to put a load of shit in my body to feel like this. Like, you know, I'm fucking, thank you very much. So I have undergone quite a life transformation in the last 10 years. People who know me from the old days, I was a bit wild. I've had a couple of failed marriages and so on and so forth. I don't live like that anymore. Part of my mental health journey is transforming my life, because I always say, if you live in shit, you're going to end up shitter. It don't matter what tablets you take, you're still going to feel shitter. So part of that is life transformation. Now, I'm not a life coach, I'm not a fucking doctor, I'm not fuck all, but I've had a lot of experience and I've made a lot of changes, positive changes, that have helped me be in the place that I am now, where I can get off this shit and start to look after myself properly. So really what I'm saying is, I'm going to share what I've done. If there's enough interest, I'll share what I've done to reach the point I'm at now. And I'm getting off antidepressants after 40 years of use, and I'm starting to treat my body better, because being an addict, being an alcoholic, taking medication long term has had its effect. You know, I've got lung disease, and I've got early onset liver disease, and I've got other bits and bobs that make you feel like shit. So I'm on a mission to be the best version of me that I can, and I'm quite happy to help anyone else who wants to come along on that journey come along with me. So that's it really, short and sweet. First one, not sure about the format, it's all very experimental. Bear with. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. I need feedback, otherwise this ain't gonna fucking work. You know, ask me some questions and I'll pick a topic and I'll explain what I've done to improve that area of my life, and we can go from there. That's it really. So just leaves me as always to thank you for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Lots of love everyone, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Big love.